Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to draw a shark, alright? So I'm going to start off and I'm going to draw the entire thing in a marker, that way it's a little bit darker and you guys can see it. But if you want to grab a pencil, that way in case you have to erase, that's more than okay. Now, to help you guys out, I will be putting the finished drawing right here above the Drawing Joshua logo, that way you guys have something to look at while we draw. Now let's get started. Okay, so I have my marker, and what I'm going to do is kind of find the center of the page, and I'm going to come up and to the left a little bit, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and start by drawing the shark's eye. So I'm just going to draw an oval, okay? So something like that. Now, for half of this oval, I'm going to make its pupil. So kind of like that, all right? Then inside of here, I'm going to go ahead and just put a little circle. And I'm gonna leave that part white when I color it in. That way it looks like his eye is kind of shiny, all right? Okay, now let's go ahead and let's kind of work on like the mouth and the head, all right? So below the eye, what I'm gonna do is gonna come down and to the right a little bit. And this is gonna kind of be where we start like the outline of its mouth. So I'm gonna start here. And I'm just gonna put this curved line that comes like that, all right? Now I'm gonna pick up where we left off here. I'm going to bring this line down. It's going to come back up. And kind of like that. Okay. Now it doesn't look like a shark yet, but I promise it will, okay? So from where we ended here, what I'm going to do is have this line. It's going to come all the way over and almost come and touch its eye, okay? So if you're like this, it comes close to the eye, but it doesn't quite touch it, okay? Now we're going to come in just a little bit from where that line ended. And this is where I'm going to draw the next line. And this is going to be like the shark's head, okay? So I'm going to leave it like that for right now. All right, now let's go ahead and let's jump back over to the mouth. All right, now from where we ended here, I'm just going to have this line that keeps coming like this. And then I'm going to have this part that just is a line down. And now we're going to start the mouth, okay? So now why we made this first is so we know how far up to bring the mouth. So this is basically just gonna be like a big sideways V, all right? It's just gonna come down. And the bottom part is gonna be shorter than the top part, okay? And we're gonna make it look like his mouth is open. All right, now we all know that shark have teeth. So we're gonna give it some sharp teeth. And these are basically like the letter V. See how that's kind of like a V? I'm going to kind of make them all just like pointy. And you can do a ton of teeth. You can do just a few teeth. It's completely up to you. And I might do one more like that. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and do teeth on the bottom. So I'm going to do one there. Again, these are just sharp, pointy teeth, and I might do two more like that. All right, now from kind of like in the middle-ish here, kind of towards the bottom, what I'm going to do is just have this line that comes over like this, and that way it's going to look like it's the inside of the shark's mouth. All right, so let's go back up here for a second. I'm just going to put a little oval to make it look like the shark's nose, okay? All right, so now why don't we jump back down to the mouth and we'll kind of keep going with the rest of its body. So it's here and it kind of curves back around, kind of with the same shape of its mouth. Okay, so it kind of curves back around. Now we come back down and then this is going to be the body of the shark. So the body kind of comes down like that. All right, we're going to kind of make it like the fin down here. That way you can see the entire shark, all right? So let's go ahead and let's give it a fin. So kind of where we ended, or where we kind of did this little indent here, I'm going to come over just a little bit. I'm going to have a pointy line that's going to come like this. And it's going to go back into the shark's body like that. All right. Now from the tip, I'm going to go ahead and start here. I'm just going to make a line that slowly gets further away from this line here. And I'm gonna put a line here, all right? That way it kind of looks like a fin. Okay, now let's go ahead and why don't we work on its tail? So from where we ended here, I'm gonna have this big curved line. It's gonna come over about as far as what we did the fin, all right? So now it's gonna come down, and then we're gonna cut over. Just like this, and back down. All right, great job so far. Now, from where we ended here, I'm gonna come up, and this is where we're gonna draw the other side of the fin. So it's gonna curve back down, kind of do like this little S curve, and now it comes to a point, and now we just connect this back to here, where we started. All right, now, where we started here, I'm gonna go ahead and just put a line. That way it looks a little bit more like a fin, okay? Now, let's go ahead and, so this is where the rest of the body is. So I'm gonna come down just a little bit. I'm gonna draw a line that kind of comes up. All right, now I know I'm doing a lot of jumping around, but we're gonna go back up to the top, and I like to jump around, that way I make sure everything lines up nicely, okay? So back up at the top, what I'm gonna do is have this curved line that kind of comes around. And what I'm trying to do is curve it so it almost lines up to here. I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap, maybe a gap like that for its fin when we draw that. But I wanna make sure these two lines line up. So something like that, okay? And if yours doesn't line up perfectly, that's more than okay. We can color it in later and we can make bigger lines and stuff, and I promise it'll look all right. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll give it a fin, okay? So from kind of like the middle-ish part of the back here, I'm gonna draw this big curved line like this. And then this one kind of comes almost straight back down, but has a little bit of a curve to it, like that, okay? Now, kind of like we did here, I'm gonna start at the tip. I'm gonna bring it back, and it's gonna slowly get bigger once it gets closer to the body of the shark. And then we did a little line here, so I'm gonna do another line here. And because it's a little bit bigger, I might even just do a second one, like that. All right, awesome job. Now let's go ahead and where we ended here, I'm gonna make it a little bit longer. I'm gonna come back up, just do a little line there. And this is where we're gonna start its fin, okay? So I'm gonna do this curved line that kind of comes down like this. It's not quite gonna touch the back. And I'm gonna do another curved line there. Okay, so it almost kind of looks like a J, like a backwards J. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is, because this is the fin, and we left this little gap here, I'm gonna bring this kind of curved line that's gonna come down like that. Okay, and now I'm gonna start here, and I'm just gonna connect this to the tip over here. And I'm just gonna extend it a little bit more like that. All right, now like we did on this fin and this fin, I'm gonna start not quite at the tip of this one, but I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna make it slowly get bigger towards the body, okay? Now, we just have to add a couple more gills and then we are done, all right? So where sharks breathe, they breathe through like gills in their side. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put, these are just curved lines. So it has just a little bit of a curve to it. They don't have many of them. I don't know exactly how many they have, but we're just gonna put 3. Just like that. All right, now we just have one more thing to do, and that's from here, because we had this part that kind of shows like the belly of the shark. So we're gonna pretend like that keeps on coming through. And then from the gill, we're just gonna have this part that comes down, maybe like that. All right. Okay, so now you are all done drawing a shark, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and color it in now. I'll probably color the body of it kind of like a darker blue, and like the belly, maybe like a lighter blue, but you guys are welcome to color it in whatever colors you'd like, or you can pause the video at the end and match the colors that I chose. So as you can can see, I colored in my shark kind of like a darker gray for its body and like a lighter bluish gray for kind of the underside, like its belly and fins and stuff. But I'd love to see how your drawings turned out or what you guys came up with. So feel free to tag me on any social media posts, or have you or a parent email me your finished drawing at drawingjoshua123@gmail.com. Now, I am always looking to hear what you guys want to learn how to draw next. So feel free to drop a comment below and I'm happy to work it into a future video for you guys. But until then, please remember that drawing does take practice. So practice and always have fun. Thanks.